So good afternoon, everyone. So today's sutta is Mūlapariyāya Sutta. This is the first sutta of this Majjhima Nikaya. So I just Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang dhammang sanghang namasami. And then these suttas, this is just give you the gist of these suttas. Actually, basically, is talk about this. It's the wrong view. Who we, all the identity view, how we view ourselves, and this is also, they said they put it in the first one because when we have wrong view, and you have wrong motivation, we'll go the opposite way. And then this remind me, my first suttas that I read is the Brahmajala suttas. It's all about the 62 wrong views, the identity views as non-self. Basically, it's talk about the identity views, and also they have they have is how the unenlightened person or the like they go into the different category, like the ordinary person, and they go to high training, and then go the Arahant, and then the Buddha. That is like different level of understanding of non-self. There's sometimes that I remember when I read these Brahmajala suttas, how ingrained when you have that, you attach to your views, you have so strong, that the wrong views, and then what you believe in. Actually, sometimes really you can't come up from it because you really block everything. And it remind me of one of what that really struck me, and that one of the wrong views is that this person, he be able to recollect his many lifetimes, his past life, and then to him, even though he see that many life he been his many life, he be able to record many lifetimes, and then but because he got a very strong views that is a soul, that is like something permanent. You see, I always come back, I'm here, even though he be able to see that, he been, come back again and again, but he still believe that that is a self, that is something that is permanent, that is a soul. There's sometimes like, when someone don't have the right understanding, when you don't have the wisdom, even you can recollect your past life, but you will try to fit into your view. That is because when you have the fixed view, you hold on to that, and then you make it, this is what you believe in. So you will bend the truth, you won't see that. And then they said this is basically, it's more talk about that non-self. And then they said sometimes when someone asks the Buddha, when ask the Buddha, is it there is self or there's no self, the Buddha don't answer. Because if the Buddha, yes, that means there is a self. If you said no, there's no self, so that people will perceive as, interpret as there's annihilation. So they said wherever yes or no is still people just interpret, perceive the way they want to perceive. It's just according to sometimes the views that they hold on to. They said this is they hold on to their own views. So I will start reading. Then after I reading that the first section of the ordinary people, then I will summarize that, and then after that I go on. And then after we finish, you have any questions you can ask. So this is the first sutta, Mūlapariyāya Vagga, the roots of all things. Thus have I heard, on one occasion the Blessed One was living in Ukata in Subhaga Grove at the root of royal Sala tree. There he addressed the Bhikkhus thus: Bhikkhus, Venerable Sir, they replied, the Blessed One said this: Bhikkhus, I shall teach you a discourse on the roots of all things. Listen and attend closely to what I shall say. Yes, Venerable Sir, the Bhikkhus replied. The Blessed One said this: Hear, Bhikkhus, an untaught ordinary person who has no regard for noble ones and is unskilled and undisciplined in the Dhamma, who has no regard for true men and is unskilled and undisciplined in the Dhamma, and perceive earth as earth, having perceived earth as earth. He conceived, that is, conceived himself as earth. He conceived himself in earth. He conceived himself apart from earth. He conceived earth to be mind. He delights in earth. What is that? Because he's not fully understood. Of course, this is the standard standard description of someone not enlightened, not even stream winners, So there's someone is not on the path yet, There's someone is unenlightened. So this is how when you take everything, is whatever we see, we take it to be we own it, we are part of it. So whenever we see, even this is earth as earth, and then he will see that he conceived himself apart from earth, and then he conceived earth to be mind. It delights in us. So take everything. This is how we take to be me. Whatever we see, we always think in terms of me and mine. So he perceives water as water. Having perceived water as water, he conceives himself as water. He conceives himself in water. He conceives himself apart from water. He conceives water to be mind. He delights in water. What is that? Because he has not fully understood. So this is that he not really direct understanding. So all we understand sometimes, when we read all the description, all the suttas, dhamma, is for us that we don't really perceive the reality. What we perceive is only the conceptual reality. So we have a concept, and then each one of us, we have our own interpretation. Sometimes, the same thing, if 10 person look at it, you have 10 interpretation. 10 perception of things. It's also come from your previous experience, also your views, and because we are not perceiving things as they truly are. And he perceived fire as fire. Having perceived fire as fire, he conceived himself as fire. He conceived himself in fire. He conceives himself apart from fire. He conceives fire to be mind. He delights in fire. What is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I said. He perceived air as air. Having perceived air as air, he conceived himself as air. He conceived himself in air. He conceived himself apart from air. He conceived air to be mind. He delights in air. What is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I said. So this is the 4 elements. The 4 elements, the earth element, the water element, the fire element, and the air element. So because everything that make up of 4 elements. So this is how we take delights in all the things. We take delights in our body, because our body also make up of 4 elements. So we take delights of that. We take this to be mine. Oh, this is my thing. This is my car. It belongs to me. We have ownership. We own it. It just recently someone come to me, and this person first time she said she worked very hard, and she's the first time she owned a new car. She never had a new car before, and she said she never, she wasn't like that. She said, I wasn't like that, but since I have this car, I have so much fear and worry that I'm going to lose this car, and someone will hit me and my car. I said, because when you own it, you have the fear of losing it. So you have the fear of losing because you think that this is mine. This is how we start to attach. When we take delights in things, we attach to things. We own it. This is my house. Everything is me and mine. And even we think that this is not part of you, it's also still in terms of me and mine. When we see that you are not belong to me. You are not belong to me, but I'm still involved. That you are not part of me, but I'm also in it. Everything, I remember like some people don't see that. Like one of the common thing people come and tell me that, I don't want to reborn anymore. I don't want to be born anymore. And they wanting not to be born is still one thing, And lots of people don't see that unless you really see non-self. Unless you have, you see non-self, then you can then you can say that you will not be. It's it's a natural process. If you see non-self, it naturally, you will not be reborn, you will be, if you are the stream Venus, you are on the path already. Eventually you will get enlightened, you will not be reborn. But as long as you cannot see, you don't see non-self, you think that it's the self is still there. That's what I have a friend, and this lady, she be able to recollect her past life. So then she said, I have to practice very hard in this life so that I'm not going to reborn, So she practiced very hard, until so hard that she will get up very early, she'll keep meditating, and she want to practice so hard that so that she get enlightened this lifetime, so that she not to be reborn. And she's practiced too hard until that she got sick. Because of using too much willpower, forcing herself, that she got very, very sick. And this is one thing not to be. One thing not to be is still, you still want, you just don't want to be this. I want to be that, I don't want to be that. But the one thing, the desire is still there. So as long as the desire is there, the one thing is there, you still come back. But that's why sometimes it's very, very subtle, isn't it? People don't see it in themselves. They think, I have enough suffering, I don't want to come back. Hey, you think, unless you really see non-self, you still come back. You're just craving not to be. One thing not to be, but the one thing is still there. So as long as the craving is still there, the one thing is there, you still come back, Because of you, like the Buddha said, because you're not fully understood it. So now it's go down to, he perceives beings as beings. Having perceived beings as beings, he conceives himself in beings. He conceives himself apart from beings. He conceives beings to be mind. He delights in beings. What is that? Because he has not fully understood it. So, this is, because you perceive that this is me and mine, it being beings. And this is how it goes down to all different existence, all the Deva realms, all different existence. So he go down to number 8, that is, he perceives God as gods. He having perceived gods as gods, he perceives gods, he perceives himself in gods, he conceives himself apart from gods. He conceives gods to be mind. He delights in gods. What is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I said. So this is in the realm of that is in the Deva realm. So he perceived Pachapati as Pachapati. So it's also one of the Deva realm, because there are different Deva realm. So having perceived Pajapati as Pajapati, he conceived Pajapati. He conceived himself in Pajapati. He conceived himself apart from Pajapati. He conceived Pajapati to be mind. He delights in Pajapati. What is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I said. He perceived Brahma as Brahma. Having perceived this is the Brahma realm, when someone's in jhana, they will reborn in this Brahma realm. And having perceived Brahma as Brahma, he conceived Brahma. He conceived himself in Brahma. He conceived himself apart from Brahma. He conceived Brahma to be mind. He delights in Brahma. What is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I said. He perceived gods of streaming radiance as the gods of streaming radiance. Having perceived gods of streaming radiance as the gods of streaming radiance, he conceived the gods of streaming radiance. He has conceived himself in the gods of streaming radiance. He conceived himself apart from the gods of streaming radiance. He conceived the gods of streaming radiance to be mind. He delights in the gods of streaming radiance. And what is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I said. He perceived the gods of refulgent glory as the gods of refulgent glory, and having perceived the gods of refulgent glory as the gods of refulgent glory, he conceived gods of refulgent glory, and he conceived himself in the gods of refulgent glory. He conceived himself apart from the gods of refulgent glory. He conceived the gods of refulgent glory to be mind. He delights in gods of refulgent glory. What is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I said. He perceived the gods of great fruits as gods of great fruit. He having perceived gods of great fruits as the gods of great fruit. He conceived the gods of great fruit. He conceived himself in the gods of great fruit. He conceived himself apart from the gods of great fruit. He conceived the gods of great fruit to be mine. He delights in gods of great fruit. What is that? Because it's not fully understood. Hey? So you can see, oh, this is just different realm of existence. That is even Deva realms of existence, and this is how we take ourselves to be that. Who am I? How we view ourselves? Who we think we are? You know, we all have an idea of who we are, isn't it? But sometimes you think who you are, like the Buddha said, you think you are not. You think you are not, you are. This is only our perception, how we view ourselves. So we think that is part of us. This is how we, even all our experiences, our feelings, we even take this as me and mine. We are part of it. This belongs to me. Like as we own it. So that's why even in the different, in the different realms of existence. So you still to be me and mine. That's why in the different realm of existence, like the Deva realms, that's why you're still in the samsara. You still come back, because the sense of self is still there. He perceived Overlord as the Overlord, and have perceived the Overlord as the Overlord. He perceived the Overlord as he conceived himself in the Overlord. He conceived himself apart from the Overlord. He conceived the Overlord to be mine. He delights in the Overlord. And what is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I said. He perceived the base of infinite space as the base of infinite space. Having perceived the base of infinite space at the base of infinite space, he conceived himself as the base of infinite space. He conceived himself in the space of infinite space. He conceived himself apart from the base of infinite space. He conceived the base of infinite space to be mine. He delights in the base of infinite space. What is that? Because he has not fully understood. So this is like when someone even in this is in the arupa jhana. So this is the fifth jhana that is in the arupa jhana. So that still me and mine is still there. The sense of self is still there. So then you come into the sixth jhana. He perceived the base of infinite consciousness as the base of infinite. This is a status of meditation that in jhana state, the arupa state. He perceived the base of infinite consciousness as the base of infinite consciousness. Having perceived the base of infinite consciousness as the base of infinite consciousness, he conceived himself as the base of infinite consciousness. He conceived himself in the base of infinite consciousness. He conceived himself apart from the base of infinite consciousness. He conceived the base of infinite consciousness to be mine. He delights in the base of infinite consciousness. What is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I said. So he perceived the base of nothingness as the base of nothingness. Having perceived base of nothingness as the base of nothingness, he conceived himself as the base of nothingness. He conceived himself in the base of nothingness. He conceived himself apart from the base of nothingness. He conceived the base of nothingness to be mine. He delights in the base of nothingness. What is that? Because he has not fully understood it. So it's just like, sometimes we have the perception of nothingness, sometimes people say, I think nothing, but thinking nothing, you're still thinking because you're thinking of the nothing, So sometimes, people say, oh yeah, it's nothing, I think nothing. I say, if you're thinking nothing, you're still thinking, isn't it? You're thinking of nothing. So it's not that nothingness. So it's the base of nothingness. So sometimes even in all these stages of meditation, people attend this kind of stages of meditation. Actually, it's not enlightenment. Some people think, oh, they're so happy. I know someone go that attend Ajahn Brahm retreat. Oh, when being told that, oh, go for interview. Oh, Ajahn Brahm said, oh, I have jhana. The whole world knows this person has jhana, attained jhana. This is still happy me and mine, Actually, it's only the prerequisite. You need to have you have to have the still mind that is temporarily the five hindrances being suppressed. Then only you'll be able to really perceive things as truly. As long as the five hindrances is there, Whatever we perceive, we are not perceiving things as they truly are. It's all conceptual. It's not the direct knowing. It's not the direct seeing it. And there's like sometimes some people think that to attend even all these stages of meditation, even in jhana state, is still not enlightened yet, not enlightenment. But you need that. You need to have the still mind. You need to have the five interests being temporarily suppressed. Then only you'll be able to perceive things as they truly are. He perceived the base of neither perception nor non-perception as the base of neither perception nor non-perception. Having perceived the base of neither perception nor non-perception as the base of neither perception nor non-perception, he conceived himself as the base of neither perception nor non-perception. He conceived himself in the base of neither perception nor non-perception. He conceived himself apart from the base of neither perception nor non-perception. He conceived the base of neither perception nor non-perception to be mind. He delights in the base of neither perception nor non-perception. Why is that? Because he has not fully understood it. What is that? Neither perception or non-perception. So when you said that no perception is still a perception of no perception. So that's that is neither, neither perception is not. You cannot say that. If you said no perception, but it's still perception of no perception, perception of perception, and perception of no perception. That is it. Sometimes it's like so. It's whatever we perceive is all conceptual. So perceive the scene as a scene. So now just now it's talking about all different realms of existence, and also this is different stages of meditation. You still take it to be me and mine, and you're part of it. You are in it, or you are not part of it. You are the one who observing it, but you still I am. I am is still there. I am the one who's seeing it. I am the one who watching it. So it's apart from me. I'm the one who watching it. So it's the I am is still there. Even though you think that this is not part of me, but you're still part of it because you are the one watching that this is not me. This is not mine. And that you are still involved. You're still part of it. You see, sometimes how subtle, isn't it? It's so difficult. We can't really see that we are doing that. So then now it comes to the six senses. So he perceived the scene as the scene. Having perceived the scene as the scene, he conceived himself as the scene. He conceived himself in the scene. He conceived himself apart from the scene. He conceived the scene to be mind. He delights in the scene. What is that? Because he has not fully understood it. Because what we see, where we always even whatever we see, we also own it, isn't it? I be able to see it. This is me, I looking at it, and this is always involved. This is always the sense of self. Me and mine is always involved. Even what we see identify as me and mine. I am seeing, I am there. I'm the one who's seeing it. So I am is still there. So that's why it's how ingrained that, it's like part of us, very difficult to detach ourselves, from that. Even though you keep remind ourselves, this is not me, this is not mine, but still me and mine, isn't it? It's because unless you see non-self, you see everything, and that's why sometimes very difficult when we talk about non-self. Then people ask the question, oh, you talk about non-self, so what happened? What about me? I exist, Sometimes, actually, when we talk about non-self, actually it's not that it's no one there. It's just like you cannot set, because it's so profound. You cannot set that is something. Because the disappearing of it, anything, our feelings, our sensations, whatever phenomena we experience, it's not going to stay there. If that is a self, it stay there, it pass. So then you cannot say nothing, because the arising of that, the arising of all the phenomena, our feelings, our experience is there. You can see the arising of all these things. Then you cannot say there is nothing. So there's something that's very difficult, it's so profound for people to understand. You cannot say there is nothing, because the arising of all things is there. But then you cannot say that is something. But the passing away of things is also there. So that's why you can't say that is something. You can't say that is nothing. So now he come to the hearing. He perceived the hurt as the hurt. He perceived the hurt as the hurt. He conceived himself as the hurt. He conceived himself in the hurt. He conceived himself apart from the hurt. He conceived the hurt to be mine. He delights in the hurt. What is that? Because he has not fully understood it. So we delight in our senses. We delight in seeing. We delight in hearing. So there is also me and mine involved. I'm the one who's hearing it. I'm the one who's seeing it. So he perceived the sense as the sense. He had perceived the sense as a sense. He conceived himself as a sense. He conceived himself in the sense. He conceived himself apart from the sense. He conceived the sense to be mine. He delights in the sense. What is that? Because he has not fully understood it. So that's why whatever we see, we hear, we always add on, Isn't it? We have the story about it, We have a big story about what we see, but we are not really purely seeing it as what it is, Even though we think that we know what it is, but actually we don't, Every time we always involve the sense of self, it's always part of us, like part of us doing the job. So now he come to this 22nd. He perceived the cognized as the cognized. Having perceived the cognized as the cognized, he conceived himself as the cognized. He conceived himself in the cognized. He conceived himself apart from the cognized. He conceives the cognized to be mine. He delights in the cognized. What is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I said. So this is again like everything, the things that the things that we conscious of. Also, we think that this is my consciousness, this is me, this is mine, and this is the sense base and the mind space. This is the sixth sense base. That is, we also consider this is everything is me and mine. We are part of that. He perceived unity as unity. Having perceived unity as unity, he conceived himself as unity. He conceived himself in unity. He conceived himself apart from the unity. He conceived unity to be mine. He delights in unity. What is that? Because he has not fully understood. Like in unity, there is one. I'm the one. I'm the whole thing. I'm the one. So this is me. This is the unity. I'm the one. I'm the one. So there is again. It is also everything is in terms of me and mine. So that is the conceit. So he perceived diversity as diversity. Having perceived diversity as diversity, he conceives himself as diversity. He conceives himself in diversity. He conceives himself apart from diversity. He conceives diversity to be mine, delights in diversity. What is that? Because he's not fully understood, I said. He perceived all as all. Having perceived all as all, he conceived himself as all. He conceived himself in all. He conceived himself apart from all. He conceived all to be mine. And he delights in all. What is that? Because he has not fully understood it. So whatever we perceive, whether we perceive that this is a diversity or this is a unity or everything, this is I'm in all things, there is always I'm all, I'm there, I'm always involved, He perceived Nibbana as Nibbana. Having perceived Nibbana as Nibbana, conceived himself as Nibbana. He conceived himself in Nibbana. He conceived himself apart from Nibbana. He conceived Nibbana to be mine. And to be mine, he delights in Nibbana. What is that? Because he has not fully understood it, I said. So people even have different idea of what is Nibbana. So I think most people think that Nibbana is a place. And if you tell them strictly, straight away you tell them, Nibbana, there's nothing left. You're not coming back. I don't want. I still want to come back. I know someone said to me that someone stopped meditating because this person want to come back. He said, I don't want to attain Nibbana. I still want to come back. I still want to have my own children. So she stopped meditating. I said, don't worry. The fact that you want to come back, you will never attain Nibbana. You will still come back, Yeah, because this is how people perceive. Like sometimes people, they come to the monastery, they want to chant, they want us to chant for the family, and the pastor. They always say, may they attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. So you think that, you're in the place in Nibbana, you always bliss out all the time, If people really know, you have second thought, are you really ready to attain Nibbana already yet? You still want to come back, isn't it? But because people using all this, supreme bliss, people think that, like you were reborn in that place, then you bliss out all the time, and then you'll be very happy. You have this supreme bliss, you bliss out all the time. No, this is how people perceive, because we don't really actually know. It's just our perception. So when we have the perception is always perverted by our likes and dislikes, because whatever we perceive actually according to what our likes and dislikes. Sometimes we always ban, isn't it? We ban the truth. We ban to, we want to see what we want to see. If we don't want to see it, I can tell you, we block off. We don't see it because we always perceive, because this is a perception. And for example, like someone, like different people have the perception, towards dogs, Some dogs love, I'm so happy I see dogs, it's so cute. I have one of our supporters, she's really have like phobia. When she see dogs, she really jump onto the seat. She's so scared of dog. And then we ask her, why are you so scared of dog? Don't know. She's just like, when she see that, she had that reaction. So she said maybe it come from her previous life, And then, but other people say, so cute, they like it, isn't it? I think, some people been, bitten by dogs or whatever, they don't have the good experience. Then to them, the perception of the dog is terrible, it's horrible, isn't it? And some other people have good experience, their perception are different, isn't it? They say sometimes, sometimes 10 people seeing the same thing, you have 10 perception, 10 interpretation of how they feel, they feel towards the things. It's also come from our perception. Perception that whenever there is a context, feeling arises, either pleasant or unpleasant, or neutral. So most of the time we get caught with pleasant and unpleasant. Normally when it's neutral, normally you feel bored, no excitement, but actually neutral feeling itself actually is pleasant. But because it's a very subtle type of pleasantness, and because our mind is not refined enough to be able to really feel that pleasantness is not there. So your mind have to be very refined. It's just like people have very refined taste buds. They can tell the different, type of tea. To me, I can never taste the different type of tea. To me, tea tastes all the same. I don't have that refined taste, but I can't tell the difference. And people, you have more that refined, be able to really, to feel that subtle pleasantness. So normally we get caught with unpleasant and pleasant, because pleasant and unpleasant, that excitement is there. It's causer. The excitement is there. Then we always get caught. So when there is unpleasant, we will trigger the underlying tendency of ill will. And we don't like it. And then we think we will try all sorts of ways not to experience it, or try to push it away, or try to run away from it. But actually, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant, it's no self. It's not going to stay there. When everything arises, it will pass away. But for us, we because we think that we own it, we do want to have it. So we crave to be and craving not to be. So when something that is unpleasant, we have the tendency, we always trigger the underlying tendency of ill will. That's why the five hindrances is still there. So that's why when the five hindrances is still there, what we perceive is always we will ban the truth. We are not seeing things as they truly are. It's always color, it's always filter. We just want to see what we want to see, isn't it? Sometimes the people that we like, then the person that we like, then we always very easily forgive, and then we will try to find we try to justify, maybe she's not like that, this person not like that. I remember when I was in Thailand, there was a lady, she's very kind to me, and she used to help me, and then sometimes whatever I need, she'll go and get for me. Then I really like her, I like her. And then, of course, I heard something that is not very good of her, like some people tell me about that. Then the first thing that I find that I have the resentment of accepting that what people talk about her, immediately you have that resentment, isn't it? Because this is the person that you like, and then you block up, you want to hear, you think, the person, it's not true, why the person said this, until I really see it, until I see it for myself, what this person done, what this person have done. And even with that, because of how the liking, you so easily forgive. You say, okay, then you will try to justify, maybe they have their own reason, whatever, because this is the person that you like. And when the person that you don't like, so what do we do? Whenever they do something bad, we already jump into conclusion. You see, they did that again, Very easily, we jump into conclusion, they did that again. And this is how we just want to see what we want to see. So we are not really perceiving the reality, not really direct understanding, not come from direct understanding. We are not perceiving reality. It's all conceptual reality. So everything is just our concept, how we interpret it. And then it's also according to our likes and dislikes. So our perception is a perversion of perception. It's always perverted by likes and dislikes. So this is how people perceive nibbana. So it's come to us another category. There is a disciple higher training. So this disciple higher training, there is stream winners, the Sotapanna, that once returner and anagami. So they are not fully enlightened, but they are on the path. So they all be able to see non-self, because they be able to see non-self. They don't have identity views, but they still have the sense of self. A bhikkhus who is in higher training, whose mind has not yet reached the goal, and who is still aspiring to the supreme security from bondage, directly knows earth as earth. Having directly known earth as earth, he should not conceive himself as earth. He should not conceive himself in earth. He should not conceive himself apart from earth. He should not conceive earth to be mind. He should not delight in earth. What is that? Because he must fully understand it. I said he directly knows water as water, and directly knows all as all. So it's repeat again. All the four elements and the stages of the meditation, and all the beings, a different existence of beings, and it's repeat again. And this is also like that is also, they see non-self, but they understand non-self on a different level. Like a Sotapanna understand non-self, have a different level, because a Sotapanna you abandon the three lower factors, so you're no longer attached to rights and ritual. So that sometimes people said that, you're keeping the precept, then you attach to rights and ritual. You no longer attached. Actually, it's not. It's just like when we said to attach to rights and ritual, it means that means that you believe that you're performing certain ceremony that's help you to get enlightened. You believe in that, Then they said that they have no longer have doubt. So that's why when stream winners, they have a complete faith in the teaching. So there's once that they already enter into the path, as a Sotapanna. So then you see there's they have overcome. There's no doubt, and then they have no identity views. That means they see non-self. But there's not they still have the sense of self, not fully yet. It's just like it's stages of, it's just a training, it's just stages of understanding. Like the understanding for Sotapanna and for one's returner and non-returner, they all see non-self, but the understanding of non-self is on a different level. So then he directly knows Nibbana as Nibbana. Having directly known Nibbana as Nibbana, he should not conceive himself as Nibbana. He should not conceive himself in Nibbana. He should not conceive himself apart from Nibbana. He should not conceive Nibbana to be mind. He should not conceive delights. Should not delights in Nibbana. What is that? Because he must fully understand it. So they see non-self. They don't have identity views, but the sense of self is still there. They're not fully understand yet. Still not fully. So bhikkhus, who is an Arahant with taints destroyed? Who has lived the holy life, done what had to be done, laid down the burden, reached his own goal, destroyed the fetters of beings, and is completely liberated through final knowledge. He too directly knows earth as earth. Having directly known earth as earth, he does not conceive himself as earth. He does not conceive himself in earth. He does not conceive himself apart from earth. He does not conceive earth to be mind. He does not delight in earth. What is that? Because he has fully understood it. So you no longer delight in becoming. You no longer, your desires to be reborn, your desires being, to be is already, the craving is already destroyed. So you're no longer coming back. That's right. So he do directly knows water as water, and then so on and on, like water and the four elements and the six senses, and so that is just repeat until that he direct know what is Nibbana as Nibbana. So because of as long as the five hindrances is still there, you're unable to see that. That's why there is an argument of that some people that argue with that you do not need jhanas to get enlightened. If you have a strong wisdom faculties, but actually very clear in another sutta like Mahamalunkyya suttas, the Buddhas clearly stated that when you said deliverance by mind and deliverance by wisdom. So deliverance by wisdom, that means you have a strong wisdom faculties, and deliverance from mind is someone have a strong samadhi. They attain until 8 jhanas. So a rupa jhana state that they attain to that state, because individual is different. Like if someone have very strong wisdom faculties, you even after first jhana, you comes out from first jhana when the five hindrances are temporarily suppressed, and that if you have a very strong wisdom faculties, you'll be able to penetrate through, the impermanence, that you'll be able to penetrate through the three characteristics because of you have very strong wisdom faculties. It's just like some people, you tell them once, they got it. Some people you have to tell 100 times, then only they get it. The same thing. And then because some people, they need longer time. Because whenever, because that the five hindrances temporarily go to sleep, So the moment when the five hindrances active, so whatever we see is we have all the blind spot, even right in front of us, we can't see. So that's why some people need longer time. So if you're in jhana, in the fifth jhana, or in the eighth jhana, in the rupa state, actually your five hindrances being suppressed for a long time. So then it will not be active so quickly. So then you have enough time to be able to penetrate through the three characteristics. You understand the Four Noble Truths. You be able to penetrate through. You be able to see non-self. But if it's some people like if it's only fourth jhana, but actually if your wisdom faculties is not strong enough, then actually before you be able to penetrate through, the 5 hindrances active again. So that's why you need to be, some people need longer time, some people need less time. So that's why people tend to argue. You see, the Buddhas also said you can get enlightened by having wisdom. Then you practice insight meditation. This is what people argue. But actually, both need jhana. Both need it. But only the delivered by mindset, you have to have that very, very strong samadhi. Then you have to have in jhanas for a long, long time, so that your 5 hindrances been suppressed. So the 5 hindrances, whenever is there, because whenever the craving is there, this is craving, that's why it come back, what we want. So, and the ill will is there, and sloth and torpor is still there. So when someone has sloth and torpor, your mind is down, no energy. And then the restlessness, you cannot stay still. And then, of course, the 5th hindrances is doubt. So you're not sure, have doubt whether this is, whether should I continue, whether this is, even with your own practice, you have doubt. So when you have doubt, how come you be overcome? You can follow the path. You can practice the Dhamma. So that's why wherever the 5 hindrances is there, so the blind spot is there. You will never perceive. You cannot perceive. Things as they truly are. Whatever we see is always filtered. Is always colored. Is always perverted by our likes and dislikes. Our craving, our desires, we take delights in things, or we have ill will because things that we don't like, or things don't go our way, or we can't get what we want, So as long as all these as long as the 5 hindrances is not there, we will be unable to penetrate through. We are not perceiving things as they truly are. So then it's come to there's Arahant. He talked about the earth, and then the bhikkhus who is an Arahant, completely liberated through final knowledge. He too direct knows earth as earth, having directly knows earth as earth. He does not conceive himself as earth. He does not conceive himself in earth. He does not conceive himself apart from earth. He does not conceive earth to be mine. He does not delight in earth. What is that? Because he's free from lust through the destruction of lust. So he's no longer have lust, because the 5 hindrances, actually now they're talking about the 5 hindrances is no longer there. So he too directly knows water as water, nibbana as nibbana. What is that? Because he's free from lust through the destruction of lust. So because whatever we have, the 5 hindrances is there. So whatever we perceive, we are not perceiving the reality. So bhikkhus is an Arahant, completely liberated through final knowledge. He too directly knows earth as earth, having directly known earth as earth. He does not conceive himself as earth. He does not conceive himself in earth. He does not conceive himself apart from earth. He does not conceive earth to be mine. He does not delight in earth. What is that? Because he's free from hate. There is a second hindrance, that is ill will, hate. And then he too directly knows, and then it comes to he too directly knows water as water, nibbana as nibbana. What is that? Because he free from hate through the destruction of hate. So then you come to bhikkhus, bhikkhus who is an Arahant, completely liberated through final knowledge. He too directly knows earth as earth, having directly known earth as earth. He does not conceive himself as earth. He does not conceive himself in earth. He does not conceive himself apart from earth. He does not conceive earth to be mine. He does not delight in earth. What is that? Because he's free from delusion through destruction of delusion. Then it's no longer because the ill will and hate and lust is also because of delusion. Because also, again, the delusion also comes from the sense of self. So he too directly knows water as water, nibbana as nibbana. What is that? Because he's free from delusion through the destruction of delusion. So when that is when that's why the whole path of the practice is that you have is begin with wisdom, is also end with wisdom, because you need to have a bit of wisdom, some right understanding. Because if you don't have right understanding, you have your wrong view, then actually you're going into the wrong path. So then the end of the path is also wisdom. So in other words, you need to have a small wisdom to accomplish the big wisdom. So we have some understanding, but that kind of understanding, that kind of wisdom is not the ultimate wisdom. It's still a worldly sense of wisdom, but you need to have that to begin with. So that's why in the Dhammapada, the Buddha said that no jhana without wisdom, no wisdom without jhana. So that's why you need to have the stillness, you need to have the samadhi in order to accomplish big. But even if you want to attain samadhi, you have to have insight, you have to have wisdom, you have to have a small insight to attain jhana. But you need jhana to attain, to accomplish the big wisdom. So that's why you need to have small wisdom. That's why the Buddha said, no jhana without wisdom, and no wisdom without jhana. So this is how actually both you need. So actually you read all the suttas again and again. All the suttas the Buddha threw out, isn't it? Talk about the four jhana, talk about the jhana, talk about the samadhi again and again and again. But still people arguing with no, do not need jhana. And even people have different people how they perceive what is jhana. Some people even said to me, I heard someone said to me, someone in jhana you still can hear, you still can feel. I said, if you can hear, that means you're already out there. You are not still. Your mind is also already moved. I said, if you can feel, your mind is already, your mind already gone out to our senses. But if it's in jhana state, that means your mind is completely still. Because whenever we go to the senses, the mind's already moving. It's not still, it's moved. And then I said, then this person told me, I said, some people even describe even the tranquility of the body and mind. They think that it's in jhana state. Because the tranquility of the body and mind, because your body really light and you can sit for long hours, and because you don't feel really, the body is not disappearing yet, but you don't feel much of your body. You're so light, the tranquility of body and mind. And people think that this is in jhana state. Even people think that, and that's why people have people have all this perception, how they perceive what is jhana, what they think is jhana. And this again come from their own views, the ideas, the opinions. This is the views, that what they think is this, So then it comes to the Tathagata, that means the Buddha. So the Buddha's also, like the Buddha, of course the Buddha's, he's wider, he know more. Just like the Buddha, when he spoke to Ananda, he said, he just picked up a handful of leaf. So all you need to know is that much in order to get enlightened, to free yourself, from samsara. But I know more than that. The Buddha said, I know more than that. But it's not useful, isn't it? I mean, some of the things, it's just by you just knowing it, but it's not, you do not need that. You do not need that to help to get enlightened. For example, like, when people practice the fire kasina, when you practice fire kasina, one of the things that you can have that, like psychic power, like you can generate fire, and they can cremate themselves, burn themselves. But I said, why want to practice so hard, want to do that? If you need fire, you take a matches, you can get the fire. You know what I mean? Like sometimes like people doing unnecessary thing, you know what I mean? That sometimes we do not, yes, that is okay, but it's not really helpful. So the Buddha said, yeah, I know more than that, but you only need to know this is enough to get enlightened. So because the Tathagatas too accomplish the fully enlightened, direct knows earth as earth, having direct known earth as earth. He does not conceive himself as earth. He does not conceive himself in earth. He does not conceive himself apart from earth. He does not consider earth to be mind. He does not delight in earth. Why is that? Because the Tathagata fully understood it to the end. So he like only the Buddha be able to really know each one karma, really well. How super being, how the karma bring them, But even Arahant, that don't have the ability, that don't have the ability like the Buddhas, be able to really know karma, each one how they come into existence, where they can do. Like people like to go to Buddha and ask, oh, this person passed away, where is this person, reborn, The Buddha can tell, but because Buddha have that wisdom, that he got the wisdom, he got the ability. So because the Tathagata too, accomplished and fully enlightened, directly knows earth as earth. Having directly knows earth as earth, he does not conceive himself as earth. He does not conceive himself in earth. He does not conceive himself apart from earth. He does not conceive earth to be mind. He does not delight in earth. What is that? Because he has understood the delight is the root of suffering. So that means the craving is the root of suffering. We crave, we want to come back, we want to be here. So we choose to be, we want to be here. It's come from the craving, and because of there is a root of the suffering, and that is being as a condition is birth, and for whatever has come to be, that is aging and death. So when it's birth, so because when you have the body, you birth there. When you have birth, so of course you will grow old, aging and death. The suffering will come. Because as long as you come back in this samsara, there is again the dependent origination. That is, the condition is there. The condition is because the birth is there, being craving to be, desires to be reborn, craving to be. And that's why he said that, therefore, because through completely destruction, fading away, cessation, given up, relinquishing of craving, the Tathagatas awakened to supreme full enlightenment, I said. He too directly knows water as water, Nibbana as Nibbana. What is that? Because he has understood that delight is the root of suffering, and that with beings is condition, and that is birth, and that for whatever has come to be, that is aging and death. Therefore, because through the complete destruction, fading away, cessation, giving up, and relinquishing of craving, the Tathagatas has awakened to supreme full enlightenment, I said. So that is what the Blessed One said. But those because did not delight in the Blessed One. This is the first time. And that's why it's all rooted in craving. The desires, because we crave to be here, craving to be, we want to be here, we want to come back. That is rooted from that. So all our suffering is come from, come from craving. So because craving, we want to come back. That's why we want to come back. So birth takes place. When we have a body, we have to go through old age, sickness, and death. And that is a condition, because the condition is there. And this is how all rooted in craving. So as long as you stop the craving, when no longer craving, okay, you don't want to come. It's naturally, if you really, it's not by thinking that, like some people thinking that are craving not to be, I don't want to be reborn, like my friend, don't want to be reborn, and then she practiced so hard. Then actually she one thing not to be is still one thing. Then she tried so hard until she got so sick, and then becomes so sick that she can't even meditate. She caused a very terrible headache. The kind headache, because I think when you try too hard, like people have samadhi headache, they try so hard, and then she got so sick. And then that's why sometimes people think that, I'm no longer interested in the world, and some people have a lot of hatred, like lots of ill will towards the world, but it's not about that. You're no longer interested, but you don't have the anger towards the world. Like you have that resentment, you have the kind of like ill will towards the world. I don't want to be in the world. So then they think that, I'm not interested at all. But it's not, because ill will is there. So some people have lots of ill will, towards the world. That's why they think that they're no longer interested. No, you're no longer interested, but you're not delights in it. But you don't have ill will towards that. Whenever you have ill will towards that, that is still, desire is still there. The craving is still there. That is craving not to be. It's still crave. But people don't see that because it's so subtle and it's so profound, especially, whatever we always think, whenever you suffer, and when I started to practice, I realized that when I start to investigate, when I'm not happy or whatever, and I can be able to see that when you start to investigate, I can tell you 99.9% is come from the sense of self. It's nothing to do with anyone else, It's always again and again. How much, sometimes we always think that other people, we always think that our problem is out there. Our suffering is someone causes us suffering. But we never see that we hurt ourselves much more than anyone else in the world. And we are actually the Buddha also said the most difficult to conquer is ourselves, because we tend to deceive ourselves. That's one of the spiritual faculties the Buddha mentioned, that is the truthfulness. The truthfulness is not only not telling lies, not only not lying others, but most importantly, not lying to ourselves. Sometimes we tend to justify, isn't it? We lie to ourselves. We live in denial. And that's why you will never see ourselves. And then we never see what causes the problem. We never go to the root. So then it's just like we always only treat the symptom. We don't go to the root. Like for example, if your knee pain, there is many reasons why your knee pain. There may be the tendon, there may be many reasons, but the pain is just a symptom. But then you have to go to the root. You have to go to the root to go to what is the root of this. There is a different disease, different illness, isn't it? You have to go to the root. Of course, people think that, when you have pain, you take Panadol or painkiller. Okay, you stop the pain. You're only stopping the pain, but it's just temporarily measure. But you are not uproot, you are not going to the root, the cause of the problem. That's why we never go to the cause of problem. Actually, the root of our problem is come from craving. That's why this is the root. This suttas, they said roots of all things. So the craving is the roots of all things. So we finished this suttas. Any questions or comments? I think there's some question. There's some questions. Okay. So he said, Dear Venerable, how can one still have a sense of self who no identity where I'm confused? Can you please explain? It's just that, it's just like when we react to it, then we will come back again because the craving is there. But then it's just like the ball, whenever we react, then we are feeding it and we putting in more fuel. That's why it's so continue, like the fire will still go on. So even we stop, reacting, feeding it, but then the fire is still burning, but eventually it will stop. So they have the understanding of non-self, that they understand that, but they understand is more on a deeper level compared to ordinary people. So they're no longer feeding it. But even though they're no longer feeding it, they still have, the fuel is still there. So you have to wait until the fuel are gone, then the flame go. That's it. The sense of self still there. It's not quite yet, but definitely because you are not feeding it, you have no new karma. Eventually, all the no longer new karma, you no longer feeding it. Eventually, you run out of fuel. So that's why then this is nibbana. So that's why even you see that, because for them they have a better understanding than ordinary people. Like for us, very quickly we already get sucked in. We already feeding it. We already become part of it. But for them, they have it. They see that, so they're not feeding it. But then and yet they still have the fuel is still there. Still not finished, the fire still going. So you have to wait till all your fuel gone. Then that is the extinction. It's no longer, no longer coming back. That is like nibbana. So they said, that's on the path. But you have to. They said they still come back. Like Hasapanna, they still come back. So until you runs out of fuel no more. But even though, for example, by kicking the ball will spin. So even though we stop kicking, the ball still spin because they still have the old energy. The energy is still there, but you don't have new energy. But for us, like ordinary people, we keep putting in new energy. There's no end. Definitely you come back. There's no end. You keep putting in. It's just like the fire will keep going because you keep adding on fuel and you keep going. But this one you no longer adding in new fuel. Eventually, when the fuel is not there, that is stop. That is how it's explained. That's when we said the sense of self is still there because the fuel is still there. But then you have to wait until the fuel that is already runs out, no longer. But because when ordinary people, we keep making new karma. When we keep making new karma, that's why we keep coming back. But for them, they don't make new karma, but the karma is still there, the old karma is still there. But then they skip, then until when the fuel is no more fuel, then it's the fire gone, so not coming back. So I hope this will explain. So any questions or comments? Okay.
Thank you, Sister. Sister, what was your advice to your friend who wanted to practice better, harder, but she was getting headaches?
Then and that's why whenever she see any monks, everybody asks her to relax. Relax. Because sometimes we practice too hard. Because we're using too much willpower. Because when you use too much willpower, actually it drains your mental energy, use up more mental energy, and very difficult to be peaceful. Because when you use willpower, actually you are stirring your mind up. You keep pushing. When you use willpower, you're pushing your mind. So when you're pushing your mind, actually you agitate your mind. Your mind cannot become peaceful. Very difficult to become peaceful. So that's why whenever the advice, she has seen many monks. And all the monks give him almost the same thing. Relax. Take it easy. Because sometimes they're too serious with me, we take it, That's why I never thought that, I remember when I was young, my parents said, why don't you become a teacher? No, I don't want to become a teacher. Too serious to become a teacher. People take it too serious. It's not that we don't take it. What I mean that too seriously, that means people... Actually, it's come from the sense of self, our ego. I don't want to be that actually the craving not to be actually is come from the ego. That's why actually the practice is that's why some people, if you have the wrong understanding, it's because the practice, the more you practice, actually you let go more and more your ego. You're getting more and more, your sense of self getting weaker and weaker. But if you practice the sense of self become bigger than the monastery, that means that is something that is not on the right path. You go to the wrong path, And that is again, that's why sometimes I keep telling people, you just have to put in the causes, but not try to control. When you try to control, again, it's come from the sense of self, our ego. a sense of self. This is her one thing. I want not to be reborn, not wanting it. No, one thing not to be, that is so very strong. It's a controlling the senses. Then she think that she can use, she think that she herself be able to overcome that by using willpower. You know, it's again come from her ego, her sense of self. That I want it. I be able to control. I can control everything. That is all come from that. So that's why it's good that I think she been getting advice from different monks, and then almost everyone tell her to relax. Relax, like Ajahn Brahm used to say, relax to the max. You know, actually it's true. When you relax, you feel peaceful, isn't it? When you sit down, you relax. It actually naturally is a way to calming your mind down. But you know, whenever next time when you crave for something, you try to pay attention to your body. Your body tense up. You know, when you want something, you crave for something, you can feel your body tense up. Then when you let go of something, when you eventually, you know, things that you let go, you feel relaxed, isn't it? You feel relief. Because when you want something, you hold on, you know, it's very tight. And then you build up all the tension because of the one thing, and then you tense up. Then when you let go, you relax. They said sometimes you learn to relax. I know someone, she very, very tense. Because she used to be very, very tense. When she relaxed, she still tense, you know. And then she said that even she go to the doctor, the nurses said, want to give her injection, also so difficult to go in because it's so tight, you know. They say, no, please, relax. Then she told me she used to be like always tense up. Then they said sometimes people have bodily pain when you always tense up. Then you have to relax more.
Thank you.
So the only advice, relax. Any more questions or comments, Eddie? There.
Oh, Ajahn Hasapanna, good sutta. I just want to ask you, so the problem here with this sutta is cravings, isn't it?
Yes.
Craving.
That is the roots of all things, the craving.
What do you see the difference between craving and desire? Desire, for me, it's okay for desire. Craving is wanting more. That is
the desires, for example. Sometimes you have desires to go to the toilet. So not all desires is not having desires is not bad, because when you're hungry, you need to eat. You have the desires to eat, and you need to go to toilet. You have the desires to go to toilet. And for example, you have the desires to do the practice, you know. You have to have the desire to do the practice. If you don't have desire to do the practice, so you won't do it, you know. And that is more like, you know, that kind that kind of craving is more on a very subtle level. We don't really know that we are doing it, you know. That the craving is more like the desires of it's so deep and so strong that we want to come back. It's not the kind of desires like, you know, you're hungry, you have desires to eat, you have desires to do things. So as I said, it's not all desires is bad. It's not all desire. It's just that if we don't have desire, we can't go to the toilet, we can't eat. You know, we have to have that. We have to have that desires, you know, to come and practice. You also have to have the desire to come in here, isn't it? Oh, I let go desires, okay. You know, it's not like that. It's that kind of that he talked about the craving is more that bring us come back again and again. It's more come from the sense of self that we want to be. We want to being here, the coming back. It's not that kind of desire. Of course, we need to have desire. You need to have the desires to come here. If you have no desire, how come you come here?
So I just want to clarify, because you are the one who can answer what I'm trying. Okay. It's also the desire is to do the Eightfold Path, right effort. You need to have the right, you know, connect in the right effort. Then I want to ask you, you see the saying, the path towards enlightenment is the middle way. Okay, middle way. If you tune the guitar string too much, it will snap. If you leave it loose, it won't play, you know. And then that's enlightenment, you know. And now we're talking about nirvana. It's the extinguishing, not middle way too, you know. So nirvana is totally extinguishing sin.
Because actually middle way is a wisdom. So you need to have the wisdom
first
to see that non-self. So once you have the wisdom, you see it, then how you can penetrate through, that is only deep nibbana.
So enlightenment comes first, isn't it? Enlightenment, then nirvana.
The wisdom comes first. You have to have wisdom, the direct knowledge, the final, like the Buddha talk about the direct knowledge, the direct knowledge that because when you see it, you don't feel it. For example, you know things that causes you suffering. You won't do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you have the wisdom, you have the insight. You see that, oh, this is not causing me suffering. You won't do it. Because you have the wisdom, you see it. That's why you don't do it.
Yeah. So the wisdom is the enlightenment, isn't it? Enlightenment. What's like enlightenment and nirvana? The difference.
Because when you have the wisdom, you'll be able to let go, like no longer interested. But if you don't, the wisdom is also come from the clarity. Like, because when the absence of the five hindrances, so your mind is really clear, you have the clarity. Because when the five hindrances is still there, your mind is confused, you're unable to see. It's just like, for example, just give you an example. If it is very foggy, very misty, you can't see which route to go, we can't see. Maybe if you go straight, there is a cliff. But then you have to wait till when everything gone, when it's clear, you'll be able to see. The same thing with our mind, because we are not seeing it. So that's why when we talk about the wisdom, actually it's also more point to the clarity. That's why you need to have samadhi, you need to have still. Because if you keep moving, you can't see. Until you stand still, you'll be able to see things. Like for example, if you're in the car, you can't really see what is there. You have to stop and stand there, be still, then you have the full picture. So we normally don't have the full picture. We always have blind spot. So because the mind is confused, the mind is don't have the clarity.
Now it's playing on words. So my understanding is, I might be wrong, First enlightenment, then nibbana, end of the cycle of birth. Is that right like that?
The enlightenment, that means that you be able to perceive things.
Things
you be able to perceive things. The prerequisite of be able to perceive things as they truly are, you have to have the clarity.
Yes, first. And then nirvana is already nothingness already. It's higher, you're no more.
Yeah, because you no longer having craving because of the, again, it comes from the sense of self. You think that you exist, you think that is there. You want to come back. So when you see that, you let go, you no longer have the craving to come back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, any more questions or comments?
Just a quick clarifying question. In regards to making karma, my understanding is that once you reach full enlightenment, you don't make karma after that. And then till parinibbana, your karma from the past will take you until your parinibbana. So is it correct to say that the other three types of Arahant, Aryas are still making karma, but maybe less karma?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
But eventually, they're already on the path. It's just a matter of time, You just have to, keep practicing. But they're already on the right path.
Yeah. Why I ask question is when I went on pilgrimage, I could see the monks having to do something like confession, They were in the Ellora caves or Ajanta caves, and they went to a corner and they do the nuns also have that so that they have some self-reflection and do they also have that same kind of thing, the nuns?
They say sometimes like, you know, sometimes karma is not everything is also karma. It depends, you know. For example, like you killing a mosquito and killing an elephant is different karma, because you know, like mosquito, the intention wasn't there. You don't even know that it's there. So but an elephant is so big, you know. You how much anger you have to have, isn't it? In order to kill. Then of course your rebirth come back. You have very strong. Your tendency, your underlying tendency of evil is very strong. So much anger. Or someone very lustful, then they come that particular that come back, they have that very strong.
So the nuns still do the
no. Sometimes actually most of the like even Bhikkhunis has 311 rules. Actually, the first 8 rules is the defeat offense that you definitely can do. Once you do it, you're no longer a nun. So that is another 17. We call it Sankati, says the grief offense that you need to have the penance, you know, and then then you have to go. You have to go to the last and have to telling people what you have done, you know. Then you have to reinstate again. So you have to be temporarily driven out, you know, from the Sangha. But you're still in the Sangha, but you're not part of that. You're temporarily driven out. And then other is like the Nisagya Pachitya is more like for example, if someone holding money or you're holding extra bowl, you're having extra groups, then that kind is you have to forfeit. That is a forfeiture offense. So you have to forfeit. You have to forfeit that. Then the Pachitya is like most of those rules is like it's not itself. Actually, all this only the first 2 one is that is a serious offense. The rest is more like itself is not immoral by itself. Even holding money is not immoral by itself. But of course, when you have money, you will crave, you want to get things what you want, and then but you have no money, then you know that's helped you. But then having money itself is not immoral action itself. It's just like drinking alcohol. People say, oh, I drink a little bit, you know, and all these things. Oh, you know, as long as you know, I don't, you know. But then, as long as you take it, you don't know how little is little, how much is too much, you know. Then, but taking alcohol itself, the action itself is not immoral. But then, after taking alcohol, then you do things that harming others. You will break all the other precepts, you know. Sometimes all those Pachitya rules, lots of those rules is just like, actually, it's just like more to refine. And then actually to help you to develop a mindfulness, to be more aware of what we are doing, you know. That is more to help us to develop our awareness. Those precepts actually help us to refine, you know, our behavior. And most of them, the Pachitya, like the Nisagya, all those is confessable offense. That one is forfeiture and confessable offense. And actually itself is not immoral by itself, the act. But then actually, of course, when you still have that subtle defilements is still there, you still come back. Unless you completely, you know, all the development's gone. Like there's more like there's like how depends on how far you want to go, how refined you want to go. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So any more questions or comments? Okay. No more questions and comments? Okay. No questions and comments? Okay. Going, gone. Thank you for listening.